Welcome back to the iBidElectric podcast. So if you're a facility manager, you're probably not dealing with these massive billion-dollar construction programs every day. Your world is more of a constant stream of essential work, right? Like installing new equipment, upgrading services, or maybe integrating an emergency power system.
And that's really the heart of the issue, isn't it? Individually, one of these projects, let's say a new 480-volt feed, it feels totally manageable. But when you look at them all together, collectively, they represent this huge and often hidden financial risk.
Especially when you're under pressure to just approve the cost and get things running again.
Exactly. So what we really need to get into today is why pricing these smaller operational electrical jobs can feel like it's structurally designed to work against your budget.
Okay, so let's get into the reality on the ground. You're facing some pretty unique challenges that can inflate costs before anyone even picks up a tool.
Mhm.
I mean, we're talking about projects with limited drawings, or sometimes no drawings at all.
Right. Or the scope is defined verbally, maybe in a quick email chain if you're lucky.
And what about access? The contractor often has to work after hours or around a production schedule. That just destroys productivity.
It does. And when a contractor gives you a proposal under those conditions, that price is inherently built to protect their business from all that uncertainty.
They're adding a margin for the unknowns.
They have to. We see it all the time. A huge chunk of the cost on an emergency job can be just mobilization, which is really just a bucket for that risk.
So you're forced to rely on a document that's, well, defensive, and you're left asking, is this number reasonable? Are we overpaying here?
That is the core vulnerability. And that's where this idea of an electrical owner's representative comes into play as a safeguard.
Okay, so define that for us. What is that role?
Think of it as an independent advocate, like iBidElectric. The whole point is to protect you, the owner, from unnecessary cost exposure.
So to be clear, this role isn't managing the construction itself. You're not replacing the contractor.
No, not at all. It's a completely different function. It's about specialized cost validation and providing insight. Before you commit any funds, we're doing proactive checks. Are the labor hours reasonable? Do the material quantities actually match the work that needs to be done?
It's about providing an independent benchmark then.
Precisely. It gives you the documentation to understand where a price should be, so you aren't just relying on the one quote sitting in front of you.
That helps make the price reasonable, but what if the price is right, but the scope itself is wrong? I know you focus on what's missing from the proposal.
Absolutely. We call them scope gaps, and they are financial landmines waiting to happen.
So what are some common ones?
Oh, things like temporary power, shutdown coordination, how the work impacts the fire alarm system, even utility company requirements that nobody thought to check on.
Those are the things that turn into big, expensive mid-project surprises.
Every single time.
So in your experience, what are the highest risk projects? I know service upgrades and solar are on the list, but emergency generator projects seem to be a real trap. Why is that?
Generators are, they're the perfect storm of code and complexity.
How so?
Well, take the transfer switch integration. That often requires unexpected PLC or building automation reprogramming. That's a specialty subcontractor. And it's a change order the original electrical bid completely missed.
I see.
And that's before you even get into the load calculations, which, if they're not done right up front, can force huge scope changes down the road.
And the service also helps with change orders when they pop up, right?
It's your best defense. When a contractor submits a change, this service gives you the hard data to evaluate it. You can say no with confidence, or at least negotiate from a position of fact, not just a gut feeling. Ultimately, what you gain is professional and financial protection. You get confidence. You get clear explanations you can take to your leadership.
And you can make better decisions faster without having to become an electrical estimator yourself.
That's the goal.
So here's the final thought for you to consider. As a facility manager, you're the one held accountable for project costs, long after the equipment is installed and running. Replacing that uncertainty with factual clarity and good documentation during the approval process, that's the real long-term safeguard. If you want to learn more about our electrical estimating services, visit us online at iBidElectric.com. Thank you for joining us today.